All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another sort of Walking Dead video for today. We're going to give our thoughts first on Friday Nightin with the Morgans. The series premiere was last night, so we'll give our thoughts on that. And then we'll get into the sort of, rumors of the possibility of a Daryl Walking Dead spin-off movie and some of your guys' Q&A questions. Alright, so if you guys missed it, there was a new sort of AMC series on last night, which was JDM's new show, Friday Nightin with the Morgans. This one kind of just sort of came out of nowhere, I guess. Now, I did enjoy it, so I got a chance to watch it last night. We'll give our thoughts on it, because I assume a lot of you guys probably missed it, because they didn't really promote it ahead of time. It just sort of kind of popped up, I guess, about last week or last weekend. They kind of informed everybody they were going to be doing this show, which is pretty cool. I'm actually happy to hear that they're doing this show, and I do like it. The only thing is it's on Friday night, so it's Friday Nightin with the Morgans, which is cool. You guys know I'm a huge Negan fan, obviously, as I know a lot of you guys are as well too. So to get to see JDM with his wife, Hilary Burton Morgan, is cool to see. It's fun to see, and then they have other guests that kind of come on with them, and I guess it sort of feels somewhat like a Talking Dead, maybe after episode or something like that. But you have different people from different things. So in this first premiere episode, they had JDM and Hilary Burton Morgan are our hosts, I guess, for this new series. And there's one episode so far, and they are doing a second episode next Friday. So if you missed it this Friday, you can actually watch episode 2 next Friday. And I think Daryl Dixon, YouTube username Daryl Dixon, has it uploaded on his channel until AMC takes it down, right? So, which they're sure to do eventually here. So, that's going to be coming up soon. But for the first episode, they had guests Christian Serratos, who is Rosita, of course, which is cool to see. And then they have their doctor, I think, or Dr. Sharagin Kemp, I believe, there to kind of maybe help field any questions regarding, the whole quarantine situation, COVID situation that we're all going through, including them as well. And then there's also actors Jensen and Danneel, Ackles, who at first I didn't recognize or I didn't know because I'm in the Walking Dead bubble, but then I realized Supernatural. Oh, right. So Jensen's in Supernatural. I'm not sure about Danneel. Is she in Supernatural? I'm not sure. I don't want to say it wrong, but I live in this Walking Dead bubble, and everything outside of the Walking Dead I'm not necessarily familiar with. Right? I'm not an expert on Supernatural, but I know a lot of you guys like Supernatural. So if you do and you want to see Jensen on with JDM and the others and their respective wives, right? Then you might be interested to watch Friday Night with the Morgans. So I enjoyed the first episode. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. Now, I was surprised because it was so short. I felt like it was just starting and then it was over. And I was like, oh, damn it, that's it? Because I was kind of looking forward to it this week and I kind of wanted to watch it on Friday night. And I did, but I thought I had accidentally changed the channel or something when they played, what is that movie with Mark Wahlberg? A Perfect Storm. A Perfect Storm came on and I was like, what, that's it? And I was just kind of like, I was kind of pissed off because I didn't realize it's only a half an hour block type of series. So he does say in it that it's like an experiment for AMC, so they're not sure if they're going to continue to do that, if that's something that will work, if that's something that people will tune in to actually watch. Well, you guys know for me, obviously, I'm going to watch it. You guys are going to watch it. The fact that it's on Friday nights instead of Sunday nights, I do think is a little bit tricky, but at the same time, maybe that's because Sunday night blocks are already all locked up. And then, is there room for another series like Friday Night with the Morgans or something? If they did a Sunday Night with the Morgans, I'm not sure. But at least for now, they're going to do this show. Who knows how long it will last for? I don't know. Maybe they don't even know how long it's actually going to last for and how many episodes they're going to do. But I think it's cool that they're trying it. And I think it's cool that they have something there for Walking Dead fans to watch. If you're a Walking Dead fan, and obviously we have to wait to see the finale for season 10's last episode. We have to wait for World Beyond to premiere, and we have to wait for Fear eventually when they are able to finish filming that. So to have Friday Night in with the Morgans on in the meantime, I think is kind of cool. And, the only thing, like I said, was disappointing to me was just that it was only like 20 minutes. So I felt like they just started and then it was over. I was like, oh, that's it? And I thought I had missed it or something. Like, I had to back check it after and to realize that, it's only a half an hour block. And with the commercials and intros and outros and whatnot, I mean, literally, you're talking for a half an hour block with the commercials, you're literally looking at like a 20-minute runtime per episode, and then you're into a perfect storm starts after that. So I was more disappointed because I was like, oh, can't you just delay the stupid movie that everyone's already seen anyway? Well, I actually haven't seen it, but I don't care to watch it anyway. Can't you delay that for another half an hour, give them another half an hour block to give it something for people to want to tune into? But, okay, it's an experiment. They don't know how it's going to perform. They don't know how many people are going to want to watch it. So they're trying it, and they're going to see how it goes. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool. To kind of see, let's see, what do they go through in the episode? Again, just 20 minutes, so it feels like they were just getting rolling, and then it was kind of over. They did go through how JDM and Hilary met, which was fun. That was kind of nice to see, and I guess the Supernatural, or Jensen and his wife were involved with that, and they showed a diorama that she had made, which was really, you guys know I'm into figures, right? So that's pretty fun. But I think part of it was fuzzed out, so I don't know if there was some sexual stuff in there or not. I'm assuming there probably was. So there's that. You have Christian on, which I know a lot of you guys would probably like to see her, right? So, and then you get to see her husband or significant other, what have you, and so that's fun too to see them together is good. And and then you have the doctor on it as well too. But again, because you have four different blocks, 4 different sections, you only have so much time with each person or each couple, and then it's you're pretty much at the end of the show. So again, like I said, because it's half an hour block, it feels like it's just starting and then it's kind of over. It's like, oh, well, what the hell? So I did like the first episode. I'm not going to score it like a regular series because it's not like a regular series, but I do think it's cool that AMC is doing it, and I think it's cool that they're willing to do that. It sounds like Hilary's making some masks, so that's good for people to have. And their doctor Sharagin, she just gets to talk for a little bit, but that's something that I hadn't factored in, is that the people who work in our health sector right now, are the real heroes right now. The whole thing that's going on. I didn't think about the possibility that when they go home, they have to be nervous not to give it to their families too, right? Like they're going into work, they're dealing with this stuff all day. Doctors, nurses, healthcare workers, anybody in the industry, and then when they have to go home, they actually are worried that they're going to give it to someone in their own home themselves, right? Like one of my coworkers, his wife is a nurse, so they're doing this thing where they're recommended to stay separate or something like this. Like the 6 feet rule applies to them, and it's like him and his wife. Like he's not allowed to, or he's not supposed to be close with his wife. Like throughout this whole thing that's going on, is she's going to work and then she comes home and then he can't. They have to be 6 feet away from each other all the time if they follow the supposed suggested rules. So I don't know how you could possibly follow that, but that'd be really tricky in and of itself if you had to say, okay, every time you go home from work, you're not allowed to be within 6 feet of your spouse or whatever, or he like lives downstairs and then she lives like upstairs, and they're like, they're together and everything, but they're not allowed to be within touching range or the 6 feet range of each other. So that's something that I hadn't thought of that was kind of cool to hear about. But again, like I said, it feels like it's just getting going and then it's over. So anyway, if you're off Friday nights, if you're available Friday nights, it starts at 10 Eastern. You can definitely check it out. I did enjoy the first episode, and the most disappointing part for me was just that it was over. It felt like it was over just as it was getting started. But I am looking forward to seeing, hopefully, more of kind of their farm, kind of the way they live, that kind of thing. I think that could be cool to see in subsequent episodes coming up here for Friday Night and with the Morgans. So that was fun. I did enjoy it. So that's basically all the thoughts I can really give you guys on it. I mean, you can watch it through yourself if you want to, and it's cool to see and everything. And I hope that I didn't see who they have on for guests next Friday, but it would be cool if they could get some more people from Walking Dead or other shows too, because if there's fans of Supernatural or whatever, I'm sure they would love to see them interact with some of the different actors and people that they know and whatnot. So that's kind of cool. And so we'll get into the Daryl movie rumor in a minute. And I don't put a whole lot. And NME's got it, and I'll put the link in the description as well, so you guys can check it out and see that it's okay. So it says here, The Walking Dead Daryl spin-off movie is reportedly in the works, and it says speculation comes after AMC delays release of World Beyond series spin-off. So this one is kind of strange for me. So we've already kind of had sort of rumors of a Michonne spin-off series or something leading up to the eventual movies. And it says here, a spin-off film centered on The Walking Dead's Daryl Dixon is in development according to reports. Sources close to We Got This Covered have said AMC is working on a movie about their series' much-loved crossbow-wielding character. The sources said it's not been greenlit, but it's in discussion. Okay, so I think we can pretty much stop it there. Basically say that there's discussions at AMC that maybe they'll do a Daryl spin-off movie at some point. Now, would that be anytime soon? Probably not. Probably not until after season 12 or after season 13. But the tricky part of this is that I think you probably want to have Daryl stay in the Walking Dead series close into when it's close up until the end. Now, eventually, if the Walking Dead series ends, then they want to do a spin-off movie for Daryl solo afterwards, like him and Carol or something. That could be cool to see after the Walking Dead ends. But, I mean, right now we're going through the whole quarantine thing in real life. We're going through all this. We haven't even gotten a trailer yet for the original Walking Dead movie. Everything is on hold. We haven't even seen the finale yet for season 10. World Beyond's been pushed back. Fear wasn't even finished filming its first half of its sixth season. So you have all this different stuff going on. So I wouldn't put a whole lot of... it sounds exciting that eventually we could see a Daryl movie, but I would only want to see it if it's after The Walking Dead actually... I wouldn't want to see him leave too and then have to go to the movies. If you can keep Daryl in the series, keep him in the series. You see what I'm saying? He's more important in that capacity than to have him go and do a Rick thing as well, where he gets his own movie and all that after, unless that's after the Walking Dead TV series actually does end at some point. So that's kind of my thoughts on that one. A few people asked me to give my thoughts on the Daryl spinoff, and again, if it's in discussions at AMC, I mean that really means is it even going to get done? Will they even decide to do that? It being in discussions means they haven't even decided yet that they're even going to do that, right, is really what it is. So we won't go into too many questions for today, just a couple. But yes, I did dye my hair, so if you can tell. Unfortunately, on camera, it doesn't look as good as it does in real life. That's kind of the color it looks like in real life. It's kind of like a lighter blondish, but it seems to look orange. Maybe my yellow light up there, I need to change that for a white one. It's making it look a bit orange. It's not, but on camera it's looking weird. So it's always weird on camera when you dye your hair a lighter color. For some reason, when you're on camera, it just looks kind of strange. So anyway, we'll do a few questions for today, but that's from Jason Rogers, who said, Trev, what are your thoughts on the possible Daryl Dixon mini-series that's been mentioned in the last day or so? And other people ask, what do you think about the news that there's a Daryl series coming, or Daryl movie? That's not news that it's coming. It's just in discussions that maybe they could do that at some point. What we're doing is we're stretching, we're reaching for, at that point, we're reaching for topics. I mean, there's a better chance that we would see a Michonne spinoff series or something with Michonne in a standalone movie or something than Daryl at this point. Again, like I said, that he signed on a contract, I believe, until the end of season 12, maybe even 13 or something. So maybe after that, maybe we could see that. But that's years down the road, and it's just even being talked about right now. It's not even like they've greenlit it or decided they even want to do it and have that planned out yet. They don't, from the sounds of things. Michelle Collins says, Q&A, Trev, how did you meet Jess? We want to know about Jess. So I decided what we're going to do is the live stream for this weekend on Sunday. She'll join me for it, at least for the first part of it. We'll see how long she wants to stay, because some of these live streams end up being an hour and a half, like 90 minutes or at least an hour or something. So Jess will join me this Sunday night for the live stream, and I guess we can go over at that point how we met, that whole thing. Maybe that's a good question, Michelle. Maybe we'll start off the live stream with that, with her, and we'll let her kind of answer that. So that should be kind of fun. So look forward to that on Sunday night, and we'll see for that. But I won't go into too many. a lot of the comments right now, like Riva2510 had said, Trev, stay on topic for Walking Dead. I don't want to offend people when we go into some other things about what else is going on in life right now, but it's pretty difficult for us to kind of stay on, topic with Walking Dead 100% when the series is on hiatus and when it's on postponement because of what's going on in real life. And there's so much going on right now in the world because of the whole COVID situation. It's difficult not to talk about that because there's just so many things happening. And some of it is, like there's a lot of disagreement about what's going on, right? Especially online in the online space. I saw a video, which maybe we'll do a review for, Bill Gates' last interview that he did with ABC, I think. I forget how many thumbs down it has, but it has more thumbs down than likes. And I think people are starting to catch on to some of what might be going on here. And not saying for sure, but, his Nostradamus type predictions, a lot of people are thinking like, looking sideways at him saying like, how did you predict this was going to happen? Did you know this was going to happen? So there's some interesting stuff going on out there right now, guys, and it's hard for us not to discuss it. The questions of whether or not people are going back to work, is it the right thing to do? So I'll just mix in one of these to kind of wrap things up for today, and then we'll wrap it up for today. But the comment came in after yesterday's video about going back to work in the U.S. From Karen Phillips, who said, "Hey Trev, some of the officials are willing to sacrifice lives for money," and this is tricky comment. This is her comment, not mine. Dr. Oz wants the schools to open, and he says, so you just sacrifice 2 to 3% of the children, and that's a trade-off to get things back to normal. Start in these schools first. So I say the people who are willing to sacrifice us, and many more may die. Can you run a country with The Walking Dead? So love your channel, Travis. So there's an interesting way that she used The Walking Dead in that case. There's a lot of civil discourse right now. People are irritable because we're all on quarantine. We're all staying home. We're not allowed to really socialize a whole lot. And I feel like the way people relate to each other and how we look at each other has changed a lot, because a lot of it's like, okay, you're safe, so I can be within 6 feet of you, like maybe spouse or what have you. But you people out there, you're strangers and you could be infected, right? So it's created some very kind of a hostile type of world in what we're seeing right now, and people kind of the way they're talking to each other and the way they're referring to each other. But it's a very tough question for guys like the Donald and President Trump and everybody else. Is do you send people back to work, because if they're off work for too long, they're mentally it's not good for them. It's not good for their wallet. It's not good for them having to keep up to date with their bills and whatnot. The way our whole world runs. So, or do you send back people maybe prematurely or now, and then you have to worry about whether or not more people are going to get sick and this is going to happen, and how long can we keep up kind of a not going back to work, or how long can we keep up a shutdown like that? These are a lot of really tough questions to answer, man, and I'm sure that they'll put a lot of thought into whatever the next big decisions are. It's unfortunate, but everything that's happening is happening, and I understand if you guys don't want to touch on it, you want to kind of keep it out of what we're going into, but it's hard to ignore, especially when it crosses into the fact that we're not able to see those final episodes in this new episodes because they have to be safe. The people that work for AMC, just like all of us, they're real people too, and they have to be safe as well. So we can't. So we gotta appreciate that and understand that. So, yeah, my stance on the whole going back to work thing is like, take your time, because if it comes down to lives versus economic production, I would say, protect the lives first. At some point, eventually, we're going to have to go back to work and maybe just live with this thing. But if it doesn't start to, go down, but at the same time, is like, take your time to start back up again, because a second shutdown would be very disastrous. I think it'd be worse than a longer first shutdown if they have to do a second one. So let's see how the whole thing plays out. Let's see what happens. Maybe a partial, gradual opening. Maybe in the U.S., state by state, certain states that are okay can open sooner, and then the others that have higher numbers, like New York, for example, have to wait way longer until they're ready or something like this, right? So we'll see how the whole thing works out. Anyway, that'll be it for for this video today, guys. Let me know what you thought about Friday Night In with the Morgans, if you saw it, the possibility of a Daryl movie or spinoff, and also just how you guys are doing. If you like the video, please comment up below. You can share, you can favorite, and subscribe to the bottom left if you're new, and I'll see you guys back again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.